Okay, there we go. We've killed Matt. It's just me and Dan this week.
Yes.
Who knows
So,
what he did?
yeah. Luke and I were at PAX
Mm-hmm.
last week before last,
Yes.
and just like tonight, Matt didn't bother showing up.
I know. It's quite rude.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
There's no reason he could have just flown from America to Melbourne for PAX for 3 days.
I've gone to
reason at
America
all.
for a PAX, so I don't see
Yeah.
what the problem is.
As have I. But no, this is your first Australian PAX.
PAX Australia is very different to PAX America, actually.
Yes.
Much more relaxed in a good way.
It's relax. It's more, I think, friendlier.
Yes, it is friendlier. Yeah.
Now, I know you went to PAX Prime, I went to PAX East. The one thing that they don't sort of have there is the board game sort of part of it, which is the sort of part I like with the PAX Australia one.
I'll admit, I didn't think I was going to like that as much as I did. I thought I was going to spend most of my time in the video game section. But boy, did we spend pretty much the majority of those 3 days in the board game, the tabletop section.
Like, you walk around the video games, it's great, you see stuff, but then
Yeah.
that's it. With the board games, though, you meet new people and play
Yeah.
games.
I didn't play any video games, actually. You played at least one, because I watched you do a slalom skiing game.
Yes. Which, unfortunately, that game, I liked it a couple of years ago when it was there. I liked it better then.
What was better about it then?
I don't know, I think it was just, it felt more, I was skiing towards me a bit more. This time they've sort of flipped it, because they've gone back and they've redone it from the ground up. But
Right.
Originally we're trying to make like a ski-free.
Yes, I loved Ski Free. That was a great game.
And I don't know, it just felt better when it was coming towards me. Now they've sort of switched it where you sort of, that isometric going away. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, Ski Free was kind of down and
Yeah.
on an angle. Windows 95 era, or was that earlier than that?
No, that was Windows 95 was ski free. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it on 3.1 as well?
I don't know.
I
didn't have a PC in the 3.1 era.
Ski free Windows 3.1. Yes, it is. So
It
was
makes
on
sense. It
3.1
was
and
pretty
then
rudimentary.
95. And now we're even going to have like a Yeti Maker special, like it's being an Easter egg type thing, and I played that.
Magnificent.
Did find something weird out because we saw another game there that I said you'd quite like, the Drifter. You know,
That looked
Matt has
very
been
good.
watching the development of that game.
Has he? Okay. Well, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
he's been
sense.
watching a YouTube channel because the second I said it, he goes, "Oh, that," and name the guy who's making it. He's got, yeah, he's been watching the YouTube about how he's going through and making
It's
it. and-
funny. You never really
he
know
missed
when you,
out.
because I follow a few of those, and you never really know whether they're ever going to really come to fruition, right?
Yes, like there are some times where people go and then it just nothing ever comes of it because I know a lot of people when they go out to make a game, they don't think they realize how much time and effort it's actually going to be.
Yeah,
People just go,
especially
"Oh,
when
I'll
you're
make
going to
a
do it
video game."
yourself,
Yeah,
because you have to be a good coder, of course. You also have to be a good level designer. You have to be a good character designer. You have to be a good artist. You have to be a
also
good
need to be able to take feedback.
Yeah, you've got to be a good publicist. You know, you've got to be a good distributor. Unless you get really lucky.
Well, that's the good thing about like at the showcase. Like this is a good place for people to be seen, and I know that like they'll have like people walk around and go, "Hey, what's this? Here's my card. Reach out, wall type of thing." And I know
What does
they've
it
got
cost for a booth to show off a game that you've got in development?
like be quite a few hundred, I reckon.
I reckon it'd be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want it. And I don't think they're doing it to make a profit, but they don't want to make it too cheap that you're going to have stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's
you
not
don't want
interesting
everyone who's gone. Yeah, I've got a mobile game for
Like,
iOS
that's
coming out.
That's what happened with the Steam marketplace. Like, there's just so much crap on there now because it's just. So you need to make it that look. If people want to go, it's going to cost them money, but not.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Speaking
I
of
see the
Steam,
return.
you did ask every single game dev there whether their game was coming out on Xbox, and of course, nobody said yes. They all said, "Oh, hope so. Really hope so."
Yes. Well, it's, with a lot of indie stuff, like their first thing is get it out on Steam. Like that's
On
the
Steam, yeah,
easiest way to
Yeah.
go, and then you look at porting it to consoles. But
Yeah.
Switch, there's a lot of stuff going to Switch, which is
yeah.
interesting.
And Switch is great for indie games that you don't have to rely on like a super hardcore processor. Switch is quite good. I believe there's going to be some big Switch news very soon, right?
Okay, is there?
I believe they're going to announce, well, rumours are they're going to announce this week that Switch 2 will be out by Christmas.
Oh no, that's insane. I can't believe that.
You would assume that it would be marketing before the 25th of October, if that was the case, right?
Like
But
it's
that's the
far
buzz.
too late to start marketing for Christmas.
Maybe you don't need to market it, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm
Maybe you
hearing.
don't need to, but it wouldn't
Like,
be I
unless
could see
they've got them sitting there boxed and ready to go. Like,
Rich.
Christmas is...
Christmas is like right around the corner. Like
Hmm.
stuff with the. No, I reckon it's not going to be. It might be a Switch upgrade, like a new.
And you,
battery life
like,
or
the,
something. It's
like
not
they did
gonna
the
be
OLED
Switch
one.
2.
Yeah.
Switch 2 would be too big a thing to give yourself essentially a month of advertising.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe
I've
they'll
been
sell the
wrong.
empty boxes like the original Star Wars figures.
Star Wars. No, you got one figure, didn't you?
Did you? Yeah,
I
maybe
think
you got one.
figure. And then we promised we'll release more later.
Yeah, we just didn't get time. We honestly didn't know the movie was going to be this popular.
No, it wasn't meant to be. We thought this was going to be a throwaway movie that has now taken over the world.
It's funny too because we're on Star Wars again now, apparently. When we were growing up, it was it was very nerdy to like Star Wars, but fucking someone was watching it.
I was also the other thing is I was thinking about this just recently. Is it was also quite weird because you could like Star Wars or Star Trek. You couldn't like both.
Yes!
When we were growing up.
That's so
Like-
true.
No reason why.
Yeah,
but
no
if
reason
you
why,
found
yeah.
out, like if I like Star Wars, I couldn't watch Star Trek because that's
Yeah, and you would get real shit about it too. Like people would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do you watch Star Trek?" Be like, "Yeah," and you're like, "Oh, I also like Star Wars." Oh, well, you can't like Star Trek very much, can't I?
can't I? And so that put me off Star Trek for quite some time until I finally went, no,
Yeah,
screw it, I'm going
same.
to watch it. And I went, oh, I actually like
Oh,
this.
this is very good. Yeah,
Yes.
it's totally
Kids today,
different.
they can just
You
like
could absolutely,
everything.
yeah. Except I don't like Star Wars anymore. So
No, you do
I
like Star Wars.
I like a movie called Star Wars that was
Yep.
out when I was a kid. Yeah,
Yeah, you
had
like
two
3 movies.
very good sequels. Yeah,
Yep.
and Rogue One.
You like a prequel as well?
Yeah, and I don't mind Force Awakens if I'm being really honest. And I would have liked to have seen some actual sequels to that movie.
To that movie, yes. Not. I still do not get the whole thing about that where they went out and did it and then just let any director just make whatever they want.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
So you sort of got the start end by one
Yeah.
and middle, and then they each had to sort of build off what the other left them, but also try and work out what they
It
want.
was like
It's all
3 clean slates in a row.
Yeah. and
Say
it's
what you
all
want
like-
about George Lucas. I like how we've like complete apologists for George Lucas now because
Yes.
someone's done worse. But I know he changed his mind a little bit. Like clearly in just Star Wars, clearly they weren't brother and sister. Clearly that was
No.
just not the case.
No, that
but-
was-
But there was a draft kicking around where that was the case. So he wasn't just pulling it out of his ass.
No, but I do remember there was a videotape I had years and years ago, like I was making a Star Wars, and one thing he was talking
I love
about, like
those.
Return of Jedi, and he's sort of like, how do we get Luke to snap? Like, what's that thing? And that's where they sort of went, sister. Like, it wasn't until then that
Yeah,
they've gone,
right.
no, we're going back to that.
Mhm.
And it worked.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, it did. We don't have to linger on sequels, and I want to get back to PAX talk, but I did catch up on Alien Romulus this week too. And I listened to your and Matt review last week,
Yep.
and I agree with everything both of you said. I think it's a very good movie. I don't know if it's a good sequel necessarily because it introduced a lot of variables into something. I mean, the life cycle of an alien is confusing enough as it is, and they
Now-
managed to confuse it anymore. But if there's one criticism I have, it wasn't that. I can actually, you said it too. I'll I wasn't super invested in the science of the Alien movies anyway, so do what you want with that. I don't give a shit. That's Matt's department.
Yes.
For me, though, in the other Alien movies, if you've got one alien aboard your ship, you're fucked. You are fucked. You are gonna fucking die, most likely.
No way you're living.
If you're in a room with a facehugger, you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah,
someone else is slamming the door, jumping everywhere, hitting them with a fucking baseball bat. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is undermining how dangerous these things are.
But then you just got to go back. It's a movie.
Yeah. And
you got to let some things
it had
go
some
just
of the
for...
best stuff in all of the franchise in it. The real life stuff at the start was so good. And the body horror stuff was really, really good. The alien creature design and all of the extra stuff. I mean, lots of new vaginas that we haven't seen before.
Because this is like really the first time that we've seen like what the real world is sort of like. Like we've seen in space, there was Marines going to a planet living, and they'll geoforming a planet, which is not going to be a nice, easy job. Yeah. You've got people in prison. This is the first time you've just seen life on a planet that's out there.
Normal people.
And it's shit.
Yeah, it's just fucking garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, everything on Earth, or not on Earth, everything everywhere in the universe seems to be designed and directed by Weyland Yutani, though.
Yes.
They've got their fingers in a lot of pies.
Yes.
As opposed to just they happen to own the ship, that happen to pick up a distress beacon, that happen to try to rescue a ship, that happen to have an alien on it.
Which, I don't know, they did try and explain that a little bit in Alien 3, I think.
Yeah. They might have even explained it in Alien 4, but I've only seen that once, and I tried to pretend I hadn't seen it.
That's super in the future, and she goes to the company, and oh no, that was 3. Oh, I forget. They're all so confusing now.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one when she wakes up and goes, "What about the company?" And they go, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, God, I don't even remember. Maybe. Matt would know.
Matt needs to be here for this conversation.
Yeah, any alien-related conversations.
Yeah.
I'll say this, though. I stand by Aliens vs. Predator. I quite liked that. If for nothing else, other than for... for fuck's sake, what is wrong with my brain?
You're getting old.
I can't remember anybody's name. Lance Henriksen. His time to shine. As a human being.
Should always be his time to shine.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
But getting back to PAX. No aliens at PAX.
We actually did something I've never done at PAX before, which was we sat down and we played a tabletop game, like a role-playing game.
Yes, we did. We really did.
I think we were amazing at it. Even the GM came up to us after and went, like, you guys took that very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I didn't understand the rules, the actual mechanics of that game at all.
Because
listeners,
new.
it was card-based and it was like a tarot deck.
Yeah, Relics rule game. So it uses tarot deck and then the different cards.
Which actually, that's a great little gimmick. You know, the tarot is. Get it. But it also didn't really. I mean, if it was about a fortune teller or something in the tarot deck, it wasn't. It was just a mystical thing.
No, I think that's just because that was like, I think the one we played was a Game of Angels. This was just the Relics is the rule set they're using. So there's with role-playing games, there's different. It's not just D&D now. There's different rule sets. So there's ones where you just flip a coin.
Right.
There's a Jenga version. There's like different things.
The flip a coin version sounds very much like when we play D&D.
Well, yeah, because we
roll to see if I get my sandwich.
But it was really good because the people we were playing with, though, they got on board with us as well because
they really did. In fact, I knew that guy was a kindred spirit when they were like, "Oh, you're talking to a cocktail waitress," and he's like, "Roll to see if I follow her back to her dressing room."
Yeah, this poor GM,
and listeners, it sounds creepy, but he was there with his wife. Like,
yes. And we were trying to follow them to get clues.
But just.
I borrowed money off everyone so I could go gamble, lost all their money, then asked to get a room comped in the casino.
Yeah. And then I was just spent most of the game waiting in our Kia Carnival in the parking lot.
which he had to have in the game.
The guy who was... What do you call it when it's not a DM? Game Master? GM, yeah. He did a very good job of keeping up with our lunacy, you know? Especially since he arrived wanting to take it incredibly seriously, and I think tried his utmost to take it very seriously.
He had a very hard time trying to keep us on track to go to a certain place, and we're just not.
Yeah.
We're going to follow this waitress to...
In fact, yeah, that's right. And then say, actually, there's still stuff in my car. I should probably go and get that. To the point, listeners, where at one point the writer of the actual campaign we were playing walked past and just said hi, and the GM said, actually, can you sit down because I'm literally stuck and I need to know. These guys have tangled me up in knots and I don't know how to end this game.
Yeah, like unless I get an asteroid just hits them, I have no idea where to go with this.
That would have also been funny though.
Yes, but no, and we did get their signature, which I did think was a bit weird though.
Well, because we didn't ask for it.
We did ask for it, and they went, I wrote this.
You want me to sign
this
that?
For you? Okay.
Do you still have yours?
Oh no.
Mine didn't even leave my hotel room.
Yeah. I packed it all away just so I could remember.
The housekeeper might have mine now. Yeah.
I just wanted to remember what the name of the game was. I know I spoke with Matt about last week about the controversy of the cheetah. Did you hear about the cheetah?
I heard that there was a cheater and that he's been banned for life. Not necessarily from PAX, but banned from playing.
Playing the tournaments, which is at the moment, but they're still going to feed it up and he may get banned completely because who cheats at these games?
I know. Here's the thing about the tournaments, right? You can easily win one just by being lucky. By just,
because we got you to play in the tournaments with us, and you were teaching people at your second game. You were teaching people how to play.
It was so funny. The first day when I sat down, listeners, we played King of Tokyo, which I had never played before, nor any game like it. It was completely new to me, and so these 25. Luke, you'd played it, but then these guys who were sitting with us were trying to teach me how to play it as well as you. And they were using language that they assumed I knew just because they had played other games. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, when you say shorthand stuff, I'm not going to know. Yeah. We played 5 games of it over 3 days. And a couple of games in, somebody was like, oh, how do you do this? And I'm like, oh, okay, no, you can't leave until, and he loses and then he's got the first option to leave. And then if he doesn't, then you can leave. Oh, okay, great. And I'm like, oh man, I know how to play this game now.
That's why it's a great game to get people to come. But that's also the type of tournament it is. It's not like a ranked tournament or anything. It's a bit of fun.
There was that one game on the second day where it turned out we were playing against 3 people who turned out to be father, son, and daughter.
Yes.
Who play that game every week, you know, just in their own home.
Yeah.
And just know it inside out. And then there's
so
people
nice.
that, like me, who'd never played it.
Yep. And they were so nice. Because when they won, when we all got to that last final of the day, and then that father and daughter, they came first and second. They went, well, we won yesterday, and they got the prize. And they went, well, you can have this one, you can have this, because we don't get double up.
We've got it. That's right.
Just so nice.
So anyone who would go into that environment going, I'm going to fucking cheat because I'm going to fucking win, and no at any cost. Like, what are you doing? Do we know what game he was caught cheating at?
Ticket to Ride.
Oh, come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Cheating at Ticket to Ride. Evidently, you need to take a long, introspective look at your life.
So he was sitting on tickets. He was doing the whole thing of, I've got 5 colours, and he's putting them down in a pile type of thing. Like, don't worry about checking this.
Oh my god!
And it's Ticket to Ride. It's
lame.
I love Ticket to Ride, but I'm not going to cheat in it. But yeah, he'd be the type of person who downloads cheats on a game at home as well. And
yeah.
I don't understand why people cheat at all.
No.
Imagine you were playing a game and you just won every time.
Now, don't get me wrong. I play every game on easy by default now. Yeah. But I do that because I'm 44 years old. I've got a family. I've got no fucking time to be playing scenes over again. I want to be able... But if they said, "Oh, just press a button and you skip scenes," no. I'm not
No.
skipping any sequences. I'll play it, but I only want to play it once, at the most twice.
But yeah, no, like you're not gonna like Call of Duty just came out today, and I'll jump on that. I'll play a few multiplayer games of that. I'll not be good, or I'll win a couple. It's fine. But there are people who go and cheat on that every day, and why?
Yeah.
What do you gain out of this? Nothing.
I haven't played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 1.
It's a very different game now.
Yeah.
Very different.
And back then, it wasn't even... I mean, it was popular, sure, but it was like nothing like the phenomenon it became.
No. The first Call of Duties were all like World War II, and then it became Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and that was where it just went.
And that was just... That's what it is,
That's the game.
I did enjoy watching Rainbow Six tournament while we were there. That was interesting too, because it was like, was it 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 teams?
Yeah, 5-on-5. Yep.
And
just, I don't know. It's watching that live is interesting. You got the crowd there.
Watching them work together in the tactics and like kind of knowing where to kind of gather and to crossfire and blasting a hole through the wall, and then the commentators very audibly just discussing the game as it's happening.
Yep. Which they can hear that, you know.
Yeah. That's right.
But
yeah.
No, interesting to watch live, but I don't think I could watch it on, like, I don't think I'd watch the tournament now. Like online.
Oh, like just go online and watch it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I like the atmosphere of it, the watching it. I tell you what's not fun to watch, dodgeball.
Oh man.
I still don't
thought
understand
I was
what
in
the
for
hell
a treat.
that was.
I don't watch a lot of live sports anyway. This will shock you. I shock you, but I don't go to a lot of live sports. Yeah, I mean, certainly not for a long time. But I thought, fuck it. Going to a live professional dodgeball game might just, like, sponsored by Red Bull with Red Bull teams, might just be awesome sauce.
Oh my god, I just found they were influencers.
There you go. Right. We got the feeling, listeners, about 5 minutes in, maybe not that much, that these people had never played dodgeball in their life. I'm not saying I could do any better. I'm just saying when I watch professional athletes...
Like it's sponsored by Red Bull, so I'm thinking actual...
They had uniforms. It would have been the most expensive stall at PAX. It was huge. It had an LED floor.
Which, like, when we watched them play, we watched, like, the actual meant to be professionals.
Yeah.
The LEDs lights up and it'll give you, like, a free life and extra ball and all this stuff. None of them went close to that. The people who were just having a bit of fun when they were at normal people play were using that more than they were.
Yeah.
No, I
Very
just found a
disappointing.
YouTube channel called Loser Fruit.
Oh, there you go.
It's about how they won the gamer dodgeball tournament. So it wasn't professionals for gamers. So all these people must be streamers and stuff like that.
Well, that just goes to show how out of the loop we are with the generation whatever.
Yes.
What is this generation? What are 20-year-olds now? What are they? I don't even know.
I don't know. I have fights about what I am.
Yeah.
I'm on the cusp.
Yeah,
It depends which one I look at. Sometimes...
Yeah, I have Gen
X
X's telling me I'm not a Gen
Y.
X because I've never sent a fax, but I certainly don't feel like I'm anything after that.
I've sent faxes.
I've avoided it somehow.
I had to do it for work.
I've received faxes.
I've received faxes.
Does Matt have a fax machine? Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't know. I know my parents had one at one stage.
In their home?
Yes.
So
like,
my next door neighbours had a fax machine in their home office because sometimes you would ring their phone and get their fax machine.
No, faxing was just a normal, everyday thing for me. But yeah, people still say I'm Gen Y.
I don't think you're Gen Y.
I think I'm more Gen X.
Yeah.
But it's just because I'm in that cusp. It's well, the thing I look at is like everyone I went to school with was a year older than me, and they were. Gen X.
I think you're an honorary Gen X, if not.
Yeah.
If you've somehow just missed the technicality of a cutoff.
Yeah, but like I was in school earlier. Everyone's older than me. I grew up in that, so yeah, I'm Gen X. I'm calling it. Screw you all if you say anything else.
I think anyone who's listened to this podcast is not going to classify it as anything else other than the Gen X podcast. Yeah.
What else was there? Oh, the stupid thing is, and this is something I forget to every. We didn't go see that many panels. In fact, we saw
No.
one, and
And
we
the
just
ones we
stumbled
saw,
across it.
we liked.
Yes.
So I'm kind of
And we
annoyed.
We stumbled across it and went, "Oh, we'll go in and sit down for a bit." And when we found out what it was sort of like, well, it's too late for us to say no to go in now. And
Yeah.
going there was, like, really interesting. There's people drawing monsters.
That would have been very cool if we'd seen it from the start. Yeah, 4 or 5 artists who do monsters for various things, board games, and one who does the Aussie version of Pokemon, and
Yep.
a couple of the others that I didn't catch what they did, taking cues from the audience to draw monsters in real time.
Yep.
Very cool.
Very cool. Loved it. Very talented. And yeah, wish we had to see more, but really, next year we need to go see more panels. But
Agree. And we did say this before we went. We were like, we're going to make sure we know when things are on because we're going to want to see them. And we picked out a couple.
I didn't even go upstairs this year, so there's a whole other area I didn't see.
Yeah,
because it didn't happen this year because I was distracted with other things.
Mate, the stalls with all the the cosplay stuff and that. I mean, not that I'm into that, but just even in terms of browsing, I didn't even see that till the third day. You know, like there's heaps there.
The big thing this year was Cult of Lamb. Cult of Lamb or Cult
Yeah,
of
can
the
we
Lamb?
please talk about Cult of the Lamb? Because I came home. So, listeners, Luke and I stumbled upon a temple built inside this exhibition centre. Cult of the Lamb.
Getting prepared to be married at this
2
temple thing.
separate weddings happened
Yep.
there, and then a whole lot of other stuff. And I would say more people were lined up at that for whatever experience was going on there than at anything else that I saw.
Because never got close enough to. Well, every time I saw it, the line was huge, so I never got to go in.
And then at one point, there were a whole bunch of cultists doing this ritual there. I'm like, okay, this is too cool. I've got to Google this. I've got to see what it is. Okay, so it's a little. How was it described?
It's
a roguelite.
but with a bit of base building.
But with base building, yeah.
Yeah. So build your flock, collect and use resources to build new structures, perform dark rituals to appease the gods, and give sermons to reinforce the faith of your flock.
Yeah. So in other words, you start a cult. You're a cult leader. You've got to convert people to your cult, and you've got to try to appease whatever demons or deities your cult worships. This all sounds very cool.
Yes.
But man, I came home going, I'm just going to fucking play it because there's too much hype around this for me not to even have a look at. But, I watched the IGN reviews, and even though they were super positive about it, but I was just like, this just doesn't look like something I'd enjoy.
Just doesn't look for me.
Yeah, which is fine. Not every game's going to be for us.
Yes.
I think it's just not a Gen Z game. Or Gen X game. It's a Gen Z game or whatever.
I can see why people would like it. I have played games like this before. Be a bit of a time sink, I think.
I was willing to let it time burgle me a little bit if it was that. I'd love to get addicted to something like this because the art is cool.
The thing about with a time sink like this is it is something you can pick up, play for a little bit, and then come back later because it is just a bit of a repetitive. So it is a pick up play. I do have it on my wish list, but
yeah, I wish listed it too. Maybe if it comes to $15 one day, maybe.
Yeah, it's just not the right price at the moment. I don't trust.
If it's on sale on Switch, it would help too. I think it would be good on that platform too, because then I can just literally
as
pick
I
it
say
up.
that, it's on sale on Xbox right now for $18.
18. How much is it on Switch?
God damn it! That's an okay price. All right, well, tune in next week where I give you a review of Cult of the Lamb because I just purchased it.
Okay, well, there you go. Switch. How much is it on Switch?
It's 50% off. I can't not get it now. So it's probably on sale because of the October sales, like Halloween.
Yeah. Ah, of course.
All right, so yeah, got it. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. If it's
Yep.
any good, I'd love to play it. But if it's not, well,
Yeah. Yeah, after I said I would buy it if it was the right price, well, that was the right price. I don't think it's going to go cheaper than that.
yeah, probably not. Look, if you tell me it's good, I'll buy it for $19 as well.
Okay.
So tell me within the window of it still being on sale.
Yes.
Between now and Halloween, I would assume.
I would say so. So yeah. So are you coming to PAX next year?
Fuck yeah.
Excellent.
There's a few things that I'd like to add to the itinerary for next year. And it's funny because we were there for 3 days and I thought, man, are we going to run out of things to do? No, we didn't. And there's things we didn't do.
Yep.
On the very, very last day when we lined up for that dark fantasy experience, I was like, next time I'm going to line up for every free thing where you do something and win some dumb thing, I'm going to do.
So we sort of cheated a little bit. We were looking at a game. I forget what game it was, but people were coming up and giving the guy we were talking to a mushroom, and he was giving them a piece of gold back. And we're, what are you doing? And I'm part of he does escape rooms in Melbourne and stuff, and he's got something set up here, and there's a dark fantasy booth up the other end, and it's part of that. So he went and lined up for that, and it was so not what I was expecting.
Neither. And I'm glad you lined up with me too, because I'd passed it a couple of times and I'd seen that it was this card game, and I don't really play a lot of card games. Japanese, like creepy woodland animals is the only way I could describe the thing. But then I saw people were walking away.
Well,
with
you
this.
still have it.
I do.
I've got mine
This
as
little
well.
tiny fox mask. You could buy like full size ones for like $150 and whatever. And there were beautiful versions of this, wooden box ornate that you could put your cards in and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to play this game, but I will ask how I get one of those little masks. And the girl said, line up and do a 5-minute dark fantasy experience. And I wanted to tell her my fantasies can get pretty dark. Darling.
And we just lined up for 5 minutes and just assuming a guy was going to jerk us off.
Yeah, and even if it was only that, 5 minutes is, I don't know. If someone else is doing it, that's definitely not enough. If I'm doing it, it's way too much. But, man, I was shocked. I was shocked when I went in there because, A, it was very dark. Both literally dark and also just very dark vibes.
That's the bunny.
Yeah. So essentially, you went into this little tent where there was this like kind of fortune teller looking dude in a hood with a wooden board game that you played against him.
Nothing.
He doesn't speak. He gives you this little. It looks like a taxidermied rabbit, like it's furry, and that's your game piece. And then as you go around the board, your buddy gets stabbed in the fucking back with these big like voodoo doll needles.
Times, you're dead, and you got to like roll dice, and it's playing like little games. It's sort of like you got to pick the longest stick.
Yeah, it's like the creepy folk horror vibe of The Wicker Man, like dialed up to 11 with the lights out.
Yeah. So what I want to do, I want to find out what escape rooms they do, and we need to organise to go to one when we're there.
I'm much more likely to do that than to buy and play the card game that this is based on. Now, I did terribly in the game. I died
one roll away.
I got my first roll, stabbed in the back. Second roll, stabbed in the back. Third roll, stabbed in the back. You're dead. Get out.
Yeah, I got to play a couple more games because I got a bit further along. My dice rolls were a little bit better, but need to go to it. So next year you need to come down early and leave on the Monday so you can experience more time.
Yeah, definitely. So so because I died, I got the mushroom. You got the mushroom too because you died as well. Yeah. But thankfully we knew what to do with the mushroom. You go and give it to the guy from the other game that we met. I mean, it was a good 10-minute walk from one end to the other and back. But we swapped the mushroom for gold. We brought the gold back, and then we bought our way into getting the prize. So it worked out in the end.
Masks, which is all you wanted.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
And you got it.
I did, and I've got no regrets of lining up for 45 minutes for a 5-minute
wasn't
experience
that
and then a
long.
10-minute walk. It was longer than I probably... But, I like I said, next year, more stuff like that. Everything that's there.
Well, next year, you also
Should have
just
tried to
missed
get
out.
that Indiana Jones hat. You know what I mean? Like, we should
You
have
could have, because there was no line for that.
No, there wasn't. It just looked really lame. So we didn't do it.
That was sort of the most depressing part of the whole thing. Bethesda sort of had a photo opportunities set up, one for Indiana Jones, Starfield, and
Yeah.
forget what the other one was, because it was just nothing. And you could
No.
line up to just get your photo taken.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
missed out on meeting Darcy by like half an hour.
Oh, did you meet up with him?
Yeah.
Awesome. How was it?
Good. Always nice meeting up with one of our listeners.
Yes,
So
I
definitely
in fact I
meet with
just missed that because I was literally making my way to the door when you were on the phone with him.
And that's when I took your pass and gave it to him.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. So next year.
Yeah.
All right. I think, should we talk about something else other than PAX?
Sure. Any closing remarks about PAX? Anything you found disappointing before we move on? Anything you didn't like about PAX?
Still missing Xbox not really being there.
Yeah.
Like, they had the PC Game Pass thing there, but that wasn't really anything. I want Xbox to really be there.
Is it just
Nintendo
Australia,
wants-
or have they kind of dialed down the American presence as
Yeah,
well?
the big, they're sort of every, like,
'Cause they do their own thing.
Yeah, they all do their own thing now. So they don't
Yeah,
sort
because
of
when
do-
I was at Prime in 2010, 2011, they still all had the
Yeah,
massive...
no, I think, they've sort of dropped out for, even I think in America, like PAX East as well,
Yeah.
which is what Mac goes to, I think they're not as big a presence as they once did, which is a shame, because I like getting free
Yeah.
stuff from them.
Yeah. Did you end up getting a phone number off anyone at Xbox?
No.
That was your goal.
That was my goal, but there was no, when I got there was no one there really worth talking to, so...
I've probably got a publicity number online. I reckon we could work it out.
Like, I don't want stuff, I just want, like, if they release a new Xbox, I want to be able to get one. I'll pay you for it, I just want to be
Yeah,
guaranteed
just make
to
sure
buy
you get one on the first day. Yeah, I think that's
like,
fair.
I give you enough money, I should be on a special list.
Yeah, that is true. And it's probably a list that all you have to do is ask.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
the
So
squeaky
one day
wheel.
I'll find out how to get on that list.
The
Not good
bar
for anything.
was a Elder Scrolls bar, apparently.
I do one thing. They took my advice because I did complain about that bar last year.
Oh yeah,
Last year was just a PAX pub. There was no
Right.
Elder Scrolls about it. There was some Elder Scrolls stuff there, and one day I saw they had a photo that had people singing and stuff.
Oh, okay, we missed
Yeah,
that.
I missed that. But yeah, last year when they had it, you could not get in there without opening this really heavy door. Like there was no sliding door to get in. Trying to
Right.
get in that door with a wheelchair was very, very hard.
Yeah,
But they fixed that
Yeah.
this year. Thank
yeah,
God.
yes, they did. They definitely did. Yeah, but actually, the drinks were quite expensive there. So after the first or second time, we pretty much just went out to the boat yard.
Yeah, which
Boatman's
was
Yard,
still
whatever that was.
expensive, but not as expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, very expensive. That part of Melbourne, unfortunately.
Melbourne,
Maybe that's just
out of
Melbourne in
10,
general.
I give you a 5.
I don't know. I
being
didn't
a
really
city.
go anywhere else. It could have been. That could have just been the price. I don't go out anymore.
Mate, we
Is that
couldn't
what
find
people are paying?
we couldn't find anywhere to have breakfast. We ended up having
No.
breakfast at the same pub we had our drinks at every day.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be
That's
full of
fine.
little cafes. Yeah, it
And I
was,
think
it was great.
Melbourne is. I think it's just on the other side
Not
of
there.
the river.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
We are just at the entertainment centre and the casino. So
Hmm.
I did get to eat my quail.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the quail. I did do the oysters, but they're no longer a
Yes.
buck a shuck.
No, they're $2 a shuck now.
Hmm.
So I had to cut back on my normal 3 dozen oysters.
Yeah. Well, no, they brought out the 2 plates, and you're like, no, they're both mine.
I like oysters.
Yeah, I like them too.
yeah.
I just didn't need that many.
They're not very filling.
No, that's true. But if you get one wrong, I don't know. It's like the more oysters you eat, the worse the chances that you're going to get a bad one.
Never been sick off an oyster.
No, neither have I. But I've just always got it in the back of my mind that
I've got
if you
food
get oyster,
poisoning
I reckon
twice.
oyster sick is worse than any other kind of sick.
I've got food poisoning twice. Both have been from a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I got
No sense.
the worst one that I ever got was from a sausage on a plane.
Yep. I think it was a cheeseburger in a hotel in Thailand, and then a cheeseburger from an airport in Vietnam.
Yeah, so it's well, there's a trend there, and mine was also I made the mistake of ordering the Western meal on a China Airways flight, so they dug it out of the back somewhere.
Yeah.
Get the noodles next time. Just get the noodles.
Yeah. Just stick with what's safe.
Yeah.
What's safe is what they know how to cook.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, I found out today that there is a Skyrim mod that turns Skyrim into World War II. Did you know about this
as well? I saw this pop up as well, and it's a banned Skyrim mod.
Well, I can see why. Although, I mean, there's no real controversy around World War II unless you're a Holocaust denier fuckwit.
There are horrible people out there who will play a particular way.
Yes, so the way they do this is that usually you can join the Imperials or the Stormcloaks. Yeah. And in this, the Imperials are the Nazis and the Stormcloaks are the Soviets. But they basically you're in like Eastern Europe, and everyone's
Yeah, I still don't understand why it is banned.
I guess they just don't want want anything to do with it,
and they know that people are gonna play it in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to install it.
Yeah. But it's interesting that somebody took the time to make it. I find it interesting.
Well, some of the mods in there are amazing, and that game's designed for it. It's just, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I don't know if modding's really. I'd like to see people do more modding in not Skyrim, Starfield.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Starfield. I forgot that game even existed.
I haven't even played the DLC yet. I haven't even driven around in the buggy that I complained should have existed from the start.
The only mods I did, my second of my 3 kind of big Skyrim playthroughs, I downloaded all of the aesthetic mods. So the like light enhancement, weather enhancement, texture enhancement, lighting enhancement, all of those for just, because it had been out for 6-7 years by the time I did it again.
And it just makes it look better.
Yeah, makes it look like how you remembered it looked a few years ago when you were like, this is fucking beautiful.
Unfortunately, I want to play the next Skyrim, but we're still years away from that, which is even more depressing because it means we're further away from Fallout.
Yeah, true. Would you prefer a Fallout or a Skyrim?
I think I prefer a Fallout.
Yeah.
I like the guns.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous about another Skyrim, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think the jump between Oblivion to Skyrim was so intensely good that you can't expect that to happen again. It's almost like
a lot of people are expecting that, and I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
but I think of Fallout,
I couldn't even tell you what you could do to make it better. Do you know what I mean? Like
But people are going to expect it to be better, and I'm expected to be hope for it as good.
Yeah. More of the same.
Yep,
more of the same. High
maybe
frame
a bit
rate.
of color.
Yeah.
Colour in there.
It did get very bland, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even as with the re-releases, you start to notice more and more about how it's very dull and not very.
Yeah.
So let's fix that. Don't be in. I don't know even when a new one's going to be set.
Oh, have they even decided? Like, how far along are they even in developing this?
Oh, they're not as far as I'd like. I think we're still 3-4 years away.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably 10 years away from the next Fallout.
Yeah, except that there was a Fallout TV show that did pretty well, so maybe that'll make them fast track it. I don't know.
I wish they did what they just do for that New Vegas. Go, hey, go play.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so good. I played that again recently, this year. It's still really good. You know what I want to replay?
It.
You never finished it. Yeah, no, I did.
You know what I didn't? The part where it's you have to decide who to decide with, and I got panicked and I turned it off.
Yeah. I want to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey because that is a very, very good game, and I love ancient Greece, and I've gotten back into ancient Greece, and I want to finish that game, but every time I try to put it back on, I don't know what I'm doing. I've forgotten the controls. I've forgotten what I've already done. I've forgotten the story. I've forgotten what items I have. I've forgotten how the fucking armor system works. I'd have to start again if I was to play it. But I've put so much in, and there's still so much to go.
Can you at least have like maybe a different save file, or maybe just start a new game, remember how to play, and then go back?
Yeah, maybe. Although I think if I started again, I would play as the girl, so that I didn't have to play as this whinging little ponce. He's just got fucking gang fucked every bathhouse he went into.
His choice.
Oh yeah, all consensual. He loved it. He wanted
What I'm actually scared about is the next Assassin's Creed. They pulled that very close to release and moved it back a few months, and that's not good. Because I don't think it was the fact that the game wasn't ready. I think the game was ready to be shipped. I think they've gone, after Star Wars Outlaws came out, people are not going to like this. We need to pivot very quickly. So
Yes. I also wonder, but tell me what you think about this. It's gotten so much flack, albeit from mostly fuckwits, that you can only play as a black dude or the Japanese girl. I wonder whether they're going to introduce a new playable character.
Oh, because they have definitely said that you'll definitely still be able to play as those characters. So yeah, are they going to try and introduce another one to try and
that you can play as just stock standard samurai, not woman who's jumped levels to be there, or this dude who's jumped levels to be there. Although historically accurate, there were female samurais, there was a black samurai, but and you know what? I would play her as either of those, and I think that's interesting. So I'm not talking about me, but I have seen, even Critical Drinker was quite critical about the choices of character, and I was like, okay, sure.
So are they going to try and sort of shoehorn in a third option very quickly?
I tell you, if it was me, and I had no, moral compass that I was going to try to stick to and make a point with, that's what I would do. I'd go, okay, fine. Who did you want to play as? Okay, fine. There he is. Go.
Yeah. But
if it was just trying to make money, if I was a publisher just trying to make money.
Yeah. But then they're going to have to record all that audio. They're probably going to have to change the script a bit. I don't know. It's a lot to do in 3 months.
Yeah.
And then people still complain anyway.
Yes.
That's what they do.
And the more you add at the 11th hour, the more buggy it's going to be too.
Mm-hmm. And they've had good releases lately with their games.
Yeah.
It's like they haven't been buggy as hell.
Yeah.
All right.
I still didn't play. I didn't play. What was the one set in Baghdad that was like a mini game?
Oh, a Mirage.
Yeah, I didn't play that, but I should.
No,
what is that?
Shouldn't.
It's not a full price game though, right?
No, I think it was about 60.
Even so. How much is it?
Yeah, it started off as a DLC, and then they went, "Nah, we'll put it out into a game." And it wasn't that good.
Wasn't good, full stop, or just wasn't good compared to the other amazing games that had come out
at all.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Like, and I've played through like all the Assassin's Creed, and this one was just there was nothing new.
It's currently $80.
What?
On Xbox? Yeah, $79.45 or $90 if you want the deluxe. That's
I
the
guess
cheapest version of it.
I've got Ubisoft Plus,
Ah, yeah.
so that's what $23
Oh, yeah.
a month or something. But you
Yeah.
get the deluxe version of all their games.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the problem is I own pretty much all the other games that they have.
There are more starting to come out. Like you got Star Wars, you got Assassin's Creed Mirage. You're gonna have the new Assassin's Creed next
I
month.
don't own Star
Like,
Wars. I didn't play that. Yeah.
yeah, so there are some that you don't own now.
True.
And if you think you're going to spend $100 on a game, then that's what three
Yeah. Yeah.
3 months of the Game Pass or the Ubisoft Plus Pass, whatever they want to call it.
I've got to play the next Alan Wake 2 DLC. And then I've got to have one more go of Control. But I'm going to finish the 3 Tomb Raiders first. I'm halfway through the second one.
Oh, it's a hard life.
Yeah, these are the tough decisions that we have to make every day.
No, I brought the new Starship Troopers game.
Oh, yes!
Don't.
No, I mean, fine.
It's a game to play with people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well.
And it's sort of insane. So I've been playing it, and I jump online, and it's you against the bugs. It's not you. It's not player versus player, which is I quite like. But they've introduced base building to Starship Troopers, so you've got to build your base, defend it from bugs, upgrade your base, and keep doing that. I have no interest in building anything, as you know.
Yeah.
But the people, they're running around building these huge bases in like seconds, and I'm just standing there waiting for the bugs, and I'll shoot them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't bother.
Starship Troopers, the movie that's so obviously satire that nobody could possibly miss the point.
And everyone does.
Yeah, yeah. Funny.
So say the bugs were right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We intruded into the neutral zone. And they retaliated.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna edit this to make it sound like you're talking about Israel Palestine. or as it now seems to be Israel v everyone else.
Don't understand
All right.
it.
No politics on the podcast.
No, Luke doesn't do well with politics.
I've got some sex crime news and some racism news, but we'll leave those to the after party.
Okay, let's stick with fun stuff while we're
All
here.
right. Did you know that we've talked about Zauarm, the company that developed Disco Elysium before they were bought and finished, had money pumped in, and the game actually made and distributed.
Yep, and they didn't realise what they were signing and then didn't understand that they sold the game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, 3 of the original creatives, who now no longer speak to each other or the publisher of Disco Elysium, Game of the Year 2 years ago, runaway hit, one of my favourite games of the decade.
Yeah, you
all
played
3
it
of
so
them,
many times.
Yeah, 4 times. All 3 of them separately are now working on the, quote, spiritual successor to Disco Elysium.
It's not going to work. I think
I want to know how many of these 3 games will even get made.
I really think it's lightning in a bottle game, and it probably worked because of the 3 of them, and then also the publisher coming in and going,
Yeah.
do this as
Yes.
well.
Because it started because 3 friends who were like, where are they from? Estonia? Somewhere, some former Soviet state, who used to play D&D and made up their own country and all this weird stuff that was happening in it, and they said this would be a great game, but we don't know how to make a game. Fuck it, let's write a game anyway. Wrote a game that was basically a tabletop game in a computer game. I mean, if that's all it was, they would never have gotten it made. It was only that they got that cash infusion.
But the problem is as well is there's not. While it was a great game, I've only played it a little bit. I didn't go back to it. While it's a great game, everyone loved it. It's one of those things. There's not a market for 3 more versions of this game.
No, lightning doesn't strike twice, too. Like the things that make this game good wouldn't be good if they were done again.
Yeah, it's sort of like the problem that some games are having with like a live service. Like there was that game from Sony recently. They actually came out for 2 weeks and they we're shutting it down, giving everyone refunds because it wasn't doing well. And you can't Destiny 2 multiplayer games. You can't have too many of them because people play their particular ones, and you introduce so many.
Yeah,
you're not going to get.
It's not like the old days where it was just WoW. You know.
Yes. That's why you have so
if you
many
wanted to play
out
online, you were playing WoW. That was it.
Now you've got a there is room for competition, but there's not room for too much competition.
Yeah.
Because you need the people to keep it alive, and people, they dedicate themselves to one game. So even though you might play a game that they might like, they'll go to it and then they sort of migrate back when... So...
Yeah.
3, I don't think there's room for 3 more of these.
I guarantee you, none of these probably, but certainly not all 3 of them will ever even be finished.
It depends on how much money they got. And how well they invest it. Maybe they get new investors.
I mean, I'm sure they can dangle that carrot, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah,
I'll play it.
You might play it. Depends if it exists.
True. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that game, it was the art and the music and the gameplay and the story and the world building and the characters. Like,
yeah, it was everything, and I don't think that came from one of their minds. I think it was a combination of them.
The fact that you could die in the first scene trying to grab your tie off the fan. You know, like, you could die in the second scene by tripping over a lady in a wheelchair. Like, and yet, in some instances, the more you fuck up, the better you do. Like...
And that, like, it all came down to what you were wearing as well, and...
That was so good. That was so good.
Right,
yeah, you had to dress the more flamboyantly if you wanted to convince people of something.
Although, I want to play this, but what I have been seeing online a lot is Baldur's Gate 3 clips, and it makes me want to play that.
Oh, yeah, I occasionally think about that too.
See some of the stuff like people have been seeing, and then it comes up and it's a dice roll, and it's a...
yeah.
I want to see that. So, maybe. Although, I just brought Cult of the Lamb, so...
Yes, please play that first, just because I want to know. I want to know how that is.
And I'm very happy. I forgot to double check because there's different versions which should have a lot. There's a lot of DLC for this, and it's only the base game that's on sale. The rest were not so good. I made the right choice.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
because I have seen it where a base game will be more expensive than buying a bigger pack with the DLC because of the sale, how the sale works.
Right?
It's crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Did you watch Joker 2 or Joker Folie à Deux, whatever it's fucking called?
No, and I don't think anyone else did either.
I don't think anyone wanted this movie, and it's so weird because I fucking loved Joker.
It was great. It didn't need a sequel. That was the whole thing about it. It was just... And
it was perfect.
It was made like to be
finding a pearl in a fucking oyster. Like, it was perfection. I bought a red suit straight after because I was like, Halloween, I'm fucking jokering this.
James Gunn was very good to go. I had nothing to do with this. Like, yes,
so
I'm head of DC now, but not that DC.
Joker is the lowest grossing DC movie. It grossed even less than Morbius. Was Morbius was Marvel, right?
I thought Morbius was Marvel.
Yeah. So it's...
So it's lowest grossing... Is it just superhero movie maybe then?
Yeah, maybe.
Or just that made
maybe
less
it's
than
saying
Morbius.
that it's gross, like it's the lowest for DC as
the underperformance came
which I
in
also
the
didn't
lower
watch.
end of the projections that put Joker's sequel within range of box office flops The Marvels, 46 million, and The Flash, 55 million. Oh my god, The Flash did that bad?
Fuck. I actually didn't mind The Flash at the end of the day.
I didn't think The Flash did that bad.
Yeah, well, come to think of it, they didn't get any money from me.
Because that was... Cause I think the problem is no one cared about the Flash, and he was also a dick. But they had so many Batmans in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so so
Oh,
it's not the
right. So
lowest.
Morbius is Sony. So it's Marvel, but it's not Marvel Pictures.
Yeah,
That's why we were confused. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Spider-Man
they're still trying to
adjacent.
play with Spider-Man's characters, but not Spider-Man,
Yeah.
like Miss Webb and stuff.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, you know what's off skis? Blade.
What happened to Blade?
It's not happening.
Why not?
They've crossed it out. They're just not making
Everyone
it now.
loved him. Everyone is excited to see him again.
No. I don't mean.
no.
Oh, they might still do something with Wesley in that universe.
New Blade.
But the new Blade, that's the MCU Blade, is not happening now.
Look, I'm okay with that because
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Blade movies that we like are still there. We can watch them anytime.
yes, exactly.
Look, we're just about out of time, and we'll jump over to the after party soon. But no, you know what? Everything else is after party material.
Yep.
I think
So you're not getting any more from us unless you give us.
you
money.
miss out. Yeah.
Yep. So how would they give us money though if they wanted to?
Yeah, patreon.com/multiplenerdgasm, or go to multiplenerdgasm.com and forward the links towards Patreon. Sign up for $5 a month, and you get the after party, which is just a little extra show each week. We say a little extra. We try to keep it as short as we can, actually, because our tendency is to just go on and on. And a few weeks ago, the after party was longer than the main show.
So it'd be anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. So
Yeah.
look forward to that.
Yeah, that's what I tell all my lovers.
It'll be 1 minute to 10 minutes.
I've ordered a pizza.
Oh yeah, including the time it takes to eat
Let's
the
be
pizza.
done by the time it gets here.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.